because everybody thinks being an entrepreneur is for everybody, yeah? And I think that being an entrepreneur is not for everybody. And I say because what it comes with is more headache than actual success.
110%.
But what I've seen on the internet is that they paint this like picture, oh, you're gonna get all this money, you're gonna get all this, and that's the fake side of it. The real side is that every entrepreneur has had to suffer for a limited amount. I'm talking about suffer for a little, and his family suffered at him just having a
sacrifices.
Dream. And I feel like that part is not shown. But I believe that when you do get there, because you will eventually get there, if you do,
it's inevitable.
It's just about,
if you're consistent, it's inevitable.
Because you, like you said, and one thing I've really took on the board was that you said, for me, you said that you made so much mistakes, and I could relate to that because I made so many mistakes to the point where I started to learn what to not do. Like, you know, all the mistakes that you keep, and I got out of this mindset of blaming people, because blaming people never brings progress. It only brings self-hate to yourself. Like, oh, I'm wasted. I always flop people. Maybe it's just not for me. Maybe I'm not. But it's not that. It's just that you've made all these mistakes to show you the path of what you can do and what you should be doing. So every time you make that mistake and you fall off, like, I would fall off and I'd be like, I'm gonna get back on my feet straight away. So I think that just happens to me naturally, because something happen and they'll be like, oh, you can't do this. I'll be like, all right, cool, no problem. I'll find another route. I'm not even focused on the problem. Someone's like, oh, but you need to worry about this. I'm like, no. I need to get my mind right to the point where I can retrain my brain to get back into, I'm gonna succeed. But do you think for a lot of entrepreneurs out there, they don't have any guidance of how to be entrepreneurs? Like, there's not enough courses and stuff for people that come from where we come from, or people from inner city backgrounds. What do you think of that?
The funny thing is, a lot of people don't want to be honest about the mistakes they made because they don't want to share their vulnerabilities. But I wanted to ask you a question, because you said you made a lot of mistakes. Are you aware of the characteristic that you have that makes you not sit down in the street? Because as I walk around Londinium, I'll see people in doorways with caps between their legs. I was in Edgware Road today, and I seen people with signs saying I'm very hungry next to them. So do you actually understand the characteristic that you have that won't allow you to sit down? That's the first thing I want to ask.
No, I don't. I just know that I refuse to fail.
I know what it is.
What is it?
See, you think it's a characteristic that can be learned. It's not. There's only one unquantifiable that we have. Do you know where it lives? Spirit. It's not in the mind. You see, you could say the mind here. The mind is nothing. If I was playing a radio in this room, can you smash open the radio and see a band playing music? No. So, take for granted, you have an internal monologue, yeah, that you converse with all day, every day. Fine. That comes from somewhere, right? Now, how we understand things to be cloud-based now, that's why I said, I have a relationship with my soul through my silver cord. I run track all day. A man who didn't understand running track all day with his higher self might think he was schizophrenic. He might be told he's schizophrenic. He might be medicated for it in what they call a liquid kosh until he doesn't know his ass from his toenail. Remember what I said about rites of passage? Imagine you went for a rites of passage and you understood that your spirit is the core component of who you are. Take religion out of the equation, because your soul is a universal phenomenon. Now, when you hear in that voice, you know that that is the voice to be trusted. You have ancestors who run through your veins, who communicate with you all day. If you can make yourself quiet enough and humble enough, when I get in the shower, I hear my people like we're in a board meeting. Any problem I have is solved, because they want you to win. And you see, winning ain't got to be pretty.